Dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Arafat mujeeb from FEI Higher Secondary Institute. Today I am with chapter number 4 Biology 10th class, and today chapter is Heredity and Evolution. And in this chapter I will discuss about the genetics, the term heredity, variation, that means variation accumulated by sexual reproduction. And in this topic I will tell about the genes, what is genus, dominant genus, recessive genus. The basic terms I am going to discuss in this chapter, the basis of the genetics, how we can understand the concept of heredity. Later on, the genetics tell us about the variations among the species, that those species varies in characters that they inherited by their parents. Dear students, in this chapter now we start here by the term genetics. How we define the term genetics. Genetics क्या होता है? Genetics ये क्या होता है? Genetics एक नया branch of science है which deals with the study of inheritance of characters from parents to the offspring. ये वो ब्रांच ऑफ साइंस है जिसमें पढ़ाया जाता है कि जो कैरेक्टर्स है पेरेंट्स के, वो कैसे ट्रांसमिट होते हैं एक नए इंडिविजुअल में, एक नए ऑफस्प्रिंग्स में, वो कैरेक्टर कैसे उनकी ट्रांसमिशन होती है। ये ब्रांच ऑफ साइंस, इसको हम कहते हैं जेनेटिक्स। जो जेनेटिक्स है हम कैसे डिफाइन कर लेंगे? दिस इज द ब्रांच ऑफ साइंस, दिस इज अ ब्रांच ऑफ साइंस that deals with the study of transmission of characters, that study about the transmission of characters from the parents to the offsprings. This is a branch of science जो डील करता है कि कैसे कैरेक्टर ट्रांसमिट होता है पेरेंट्स से लेके ऑफस्प्रिंग्स में, और ऑफस्प्रिंग्स ऑब्वियसली एक्सप्रेस दोज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स which they have inherited by their parents. These character transmission आगे हम पढ़ाएंगे इस चैप्टर में। ये कैरेक्टर्स कैसे ट्रांसमिट होते हैं? by means of genes. और genes are the factors which are responsible in expression of characters among the new offsprings. This is the genetics. Who firstly coined this term was a biologist whose name was W. Batson. W. Batson ने in 1905 में first he gave the term this genetics. W. Batson in 1905 first coined this term genetics. he first coined the term genetics. उसने ये genetics term दिया था. Later on genetics proved this time more efficient in research, and he by the help of this subject these days we have new varieties, we have new variations, we caused new variations as advanced role played by genetics these days. Here we have variations among various plants, various animals. That means a biodiversity has been caused because of the genetics play an important role here. We have to these days focus is on genetic engineering. And now in this here this is now the another term is the heredity. What is the heredity? What do you mean by the term heredity? Heredity क्या होती है? What do you mean by this term heredity? तो चैप्टर का ही नाम है heredity. Heredity means the inheritance of characters या transmission of characters from parents to the progeny. तो कैरेक्टर ट्रांसमिट होते हैं जो जेनेटिक रिलेटेड कैरेक्टर्स है, जेनेटिक रिलेटेड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, वो हमें मिलते हैं बाय द पेरेंट्स in the form of when there is a combination of the gametes. Those gametes contain wide variety of chromosomes. Those chromosomes contain genes. There is a recombination of different genes. There is a random, we can say random recombination of genes come into play. There is a formation of different variants, and these variants are seen in a progeny. That means here in a short way that the heredity is a term that is the transmission of characters from parents to the progeny. That the progeny or the offsprings, progeny or the new individuals. हेरिडिटी क्या होती है? ये हम इसमें क्या होता है, इसमें जो कैरेक्टर्स है वो ट्रांसमिट होते हैं, जेनेटिक रिलेटेड कैरेक्टर्स जो होते हैं वो ट्रांसमिट होते हैं फ्रॉम पेरेंट्स टू द न्यू इंडिविजुअल्स, टू द न्यू ऑफस्प्रिंग्स. जब कैसे? व्हेन देयर इज अ fusion of gametes of different parents, male and female gametes fuse up, they form zygote contain the recombination of genes. Those genes then express later on. We study later on in this when we study the monohybrid cross, polyhybrid crosses. In those cases, crosses you can observe what a variation take place. Heredity means the transmission of genetic characters which are genus related, genetic characters, transmission of resemblance. देखो यहाँ खाली जेनेटिक कैरेक्टर्स ट्रांसमिट नहीं होते हैं, जब भी एक प्रोजेनी में एक एक्सप्रेशन आता है, फिजिकल एक्सप्रेशन आता है, जेनेटिक एक्सप्रेशन आता है, these expressions resembles with the parents. किसी हद तक ये जो एक्सप्रेशन है, ये जो उसने जो कैरेक्टर्स डेवलप किए हैं, किसी हद तक ये पेरेंट्स के साथ रिजम्बल होते हैं, कुछ कैरेक्टर्स बच्चे में पेरेंट्स के साथ रिजम्बलेंस होते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द नोज साइज, द ear size, style of the hair, and different part, skin color, coloration in eyes, blood group, they resemble some partly characters, more characters are resembled with their parents. Therefore, in heredity we can say there is a transmission of genetic characters, resemblance and variations. Also there is a transmission of variations from original parents to their offsprings. क्या होते हैं हेरिडिटी, क्या होते हैं, हाउ आई डिफाइन दिस टर्म? इट इज सिंपली द ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ जेनेटिक कैरेक्टर्स, रिजेम्बलेंसेस, जो मिलते जुलते हैं कुछ कैरेक्टर्स पेरेंट्स के साथ, एंड वेरिएशंस. आल्सो देयर इज अ ट्रांसमिशन ऑफ वेरिएशंस. Sometimes a unique feature develops in a new generation. A unique feature develops in a new individual that is very separate out, that is very out of their parental characters. That is the variations. Also there in a heredity there is also a transmission of variations. Sometimes variations are important in a changing environment. That and concept from original parent to the offspring. This is the term about the heredity. How we define this term heredity. Now is the term of variation. हम variation को किस तरह define करें? There is a variation. Here is another variation. This is the term variation. Now how we define this term variation? How variation take place? Variation is very important, as sometimes it prove important among the new generation, among the new organisms. There should be a variation, and sometimes it proves better in case of adaptation in changing of environment. कभी कभार environment is always changing, surrounding changes takes place, and ये देखा गया है जो वेरिएशन ऑर्गेनिजम्स में आती रहती है एक रिप्रोडक्शन तौर पे, वो वेरिएशन किसी हद तक बेटर प्रूव होता है एक ऑर्गेनिज्म को सर्वाइवल करने में. ये वेरिएशन जो है इट इज कॉज्ड बाय मीन्स ऑफ रिप्रोडक्शन व्हेन देयर इज a random recombination of genes on a chromosome. There is a recombination, random combination. There is first of all they separate out, then they recombine. Later on we study in genetic crosses. Later on we study monohybrid cross, as in case of dihybrid crosses. In those crosses we later on study how these factors, how these genes first of all separate out during the gamete formation, and then how they recombine in the formation of the zygote. There is a variation. Variation is greatly caused by sexual reproduction. Then what is a variation?